Hey people, what's going on? This is Steve here, back once again. I've had another request come in about guitar related stuff, and it's actually kind of fun because I haven't done one of these in quite a while. But anyway, I had a request come in from a mate of mine who wanted to ask about, how different is it making the transition from a 6-string guitar to a 7-string guitar. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to grab a 7-string and show you. Now, as I've said before in some of my other videos, normally I would be using a Skirvison guitar for these, but my 7-string Skirvison, they haven't finished building it yet. They've made half of it, they've made the body, but I'm hoping they're going to make the neck hopefully this week or the next, and then I'll be one step closer to actually getting it in my hands. But for the time being, I'm going to use this guitar. This is a custom built Ibanez, not by obviously the custom shop of course, but made out of kind of bits and pieces. This incredible paint job was done by a guy called Alan Lee, who had a company called Out of This World in the UK. Sadly he doesn't do these anymore, and I've got another one similar to this which I'll be showing you as well. I'm kind of lucky to have 2 of these, just let alone one of them. Oh yeah, the guy who did the fretboard for me, that was a guy called Max Cotton, so a shout out to him as well. Okay, so for the benefit of anyone who doesn't know what a 7-string guitar is, or what it does, what you get when the guitar's tuned to standard pitch is the same 6 strings that you get on a normal guitar, and you get an extra B string down here like this. So whereas a regular guitar has 2 E strings, a low and a high, you now get 2 B strings as well, like that. And what that essentially gives you is just 5 extra notes below the standard E. So you get these. And the reason, to have those extra notes is because, it just gives the guitar another, another sound, another dimension, another way, to be creative and let you come up with things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to before. If you're into your rock playing or your metal playing, you don't have to down tune your guitar. If you want to go down to E flat or D rather than keep detuning, you can just use the notes on the low string. But anyway, so that's what a 7-string guitar is, and that's kind of one of the ways you can use it. Now, in terms of actually switching over to one of these, I remember when I first got a 7-string and actually getting used to it took me all of probably about, I don't know, about 20 minutes, half hour to get used to it. So it's really not that kind of big a jump, really. But the question that I was asked specifically was, the guy who's just bought one of these, this guy uses his 7-string in detuned to C standard, which is, the guitar 2 whole steps, below standard pitch. And he wanted to know how he could make use of a 7-string guitar, but not have the 7th string just sit there not doing anything because he's not used to having one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my other 7-string, which obviously with the beauty of video editing is now going to happen in the blink of an eye. Okay, so this is the other 7-string that I have. Now this guitar, funnily enough, actually lives detuned all the way down in C standard, like that. Now anybody who's seen me out on the road somewhere with Forever Jackson will know that I use this guitar to play one song in the set, which is the song Beat It. And because we play the guitar in the key of, we play the song in the key of C rather than the standard key it was written in, which was E. So by having the guitar tuned to C, it means I can just play the song the way the tab's written and the solo, and I haven't got to worry about transposing it, which I had to do when I did the Dubai gig. Some of the footage of that with the GoPro on top of the guitar you've probably seen on my YouTube page already. So this is one way that you can make use of a guitar. So this guitar, like the guy who's asking me, is detuned all the way down in C. And then, because of the way the guitar's tuned, it makes this string down here. This is now a G, which sounds like this. So as you can see, it's very, very low. Now the thing is, with a regular guitar of a 25.5-inch scale length, which this is, as is the other one, this string being tuned this low is going to be extremely floppy and very loose. as you can see, you know, you can get so much bend in it. I mean, this isn't even a guitar string, this is a bass string. And having a string that's, you know, this big is going to cause you so many problems. One of them being that there's going to be no top end in the string at all because it's so big and thick, and the other one is, I mean, you can't tell because the string's in, but when I even put this string on, I had to stick a drill through the hole in the machine head and make it bigger just to get the string through, so it's an absolute pain. And the other thing is as well, if you are doing the rock stuff and the metal stuff with, you know, you can't really play power chords that are this low because it just sounds like a complete total and utter mess. I mean, you can play single note stuff and it don't sound too bad, but you can't really play chords down here. So the way that I use this guitar detuned in C standard with Forever Jackson is I just don't use the 7th string. You know, let's be honest, Michael Jackson's music isn't exactly known for all this kind of stuff. So that's the way that I get around it. But if you don't fancy doing that and you actually do want to make use of this string, there is another way you can do it. And once again, with the absolute miracle of video editing, this is going to happen in the blink of an eye. I'm going to go back onto my other 7 string, which has miraculously retuned itself. Okay, so we're back on this guitar again, and what I've done this time is I've taken the opposite approach to what we just did a minute ago. What I've done now is I've now actually tuned the guitar higher than standard, so this string here, the 7th string, is now tuned to a C. And then I've worked my way up. So what I've got now is, rather than what we had before, which was, you know, a regular 6-string guitar with a string added in the bass down here, what we've now done is we've taken a 6-string guitar from here and we've added a string up on the top like this. So now the lowest strings will play just like the lowest strings, you know, on a regular 6-string guitar. Oh yeah, this guitar is now obviously now in C standard like the other one is. But we've now, rather than the guitar stopping here, we've now got an F on the top. Now, obviously that means that you can be using the 7th string all the time to play with your regular chord stuff. But it does mean you've got to relearn your scales, because now, obviously, you've added an extra string. So now, like, for example, a major scale will look and sound like this. Etc, etc. So, you know, this is just another way you can do it. There's pros and cons to them both, but the most important thing is that, you know, you go and try this out, both of these methods, and you find the one that works for you. So there you are, people. That's a bit of information on 7-string guitars and a couple of different ways you can make use of them. I hope you've found this useful and enjoyable. If you have, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will be back with you very soon. Alright people, thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.